May the Force be with us all this week as we are diving into The Mandalorian Episode 6, Chapter 22, Guns for Hire. This takes us out to the Outer Rim as we explore a new planet that isn't with really much any of the governments, and we get cameos galore. Jack Black, LIZZO, CHRISTOPHER Lloyd, and of course Bo-Katan and Mando trying to solve a mystery of what is going on with the battle droids. I just got done watching this episode. This is going to be my full spoiler review. If you cannot tell, I just spoiled 3 cameos. But I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. So make sure to leave those thoughts down below. Hit that like and subscribe button for more, because I'm one of those crazy people that stay up at midnight or right as any show, big television show drops, I gotta talk about it. Same thing goes for movies. I just got done reviewing the Super Mario Brothers movie yesterday, as this is coming up because I got to see it early. So with that said though, we are talking about The Mandalorian today. We only have 2 episodes left, and I was so excited for this episode because I knew Bryce Dallas Howard was going to be directing this. So far, when it comes down to Boba Fett, she directed arguably my favorite element of Mando yet. And I gotta say, this episode didn't hit the element that I truly wanted it to be. I thought there were a lot of great elements to it personally, but there's still some stuff in there that I was just going, okay, that was good. And I think this kind of results into my entire feelings for this entire Mandalorian season so far, is that it's good. I like it. And I think it started off pretty strong, but in the end of the day, one of the complaints many people had in the past 2 seasons was that, what is the story here? Where are you going? You're doing this mission. Okay, now you're diving back into the story. And I feel like they took that to heart, took into season 3, and kind of got rid of that vibe and went more towards, we're going to tell story in a very fast-paced way. It always feels like it's changing, and, you know, a couple episodes ago, I was like, okay, so this is going to be mostly about reclaiming Mandalore and bringing the Mandalorians together. And after this episode, they have officially kind of done that. She has gained back her fleet. She has the Darksaber back in fold, which I got very excited about. If you enjoy reactions, I'll have a reaction up on my second channel in a couple hours, so look forward to that. I really like doing reactions to Star Wars content because I get very excited over the stupidest of things. But that's one thing to really look at when we look at these characters and specifically what they were able to do. And this episode continues that, and very much continues Bo-Katan's journey, which I know some people might be a little bit disappointed that Din is not getting all the love this season. Same with Grogu. As someone who loves Clone Wars, as someone who loves Rebels, as someone who loves Katie Sackhoff, and someone who loves the character of Bo-Katan, I love that she's getting a lot of this attention, but I won't lie, I do miss when it was really much about Din and Grogu. With that said, though, this episode of them going to this planet, I thought was cool. The way it kind of opened up and showed what their Mandalorians were kind of off doing at this point in time, just being guns for hire, was interesting and kind of puts that point of, well, who let Moff Gideon out? I assume that it is this infantry, but I'm starting to really think that's too obvious and too on the nose. I doubt it's that. I think it's another set of Mandalorians that we may have been introduced to back in, say, Rebels or Clone Wars, and I'm very excited to see where maybe that possibly goes next. But of course, once they arrive on the planet, we get LIZZO and Jack Black having dinner, and it was great. I thought Jack Black actually, like, seamlessly went into the role, and honestly, a lot can be said about LIZZO, too. Now, definitely seeing their faces, I'm like, that's Jack Black, that's LIZZO, and they did fun for what it was. What I was most excited about, and something that maybe you have not seen on this channel before, because I haven't really covered a lot of the prequel era stuff, is I love the battle droids. I love droids in the Star Wars world, specifically the super battle droid, the droidekin, or I can't remember exactly what that roly thing is called, and of course, the battle droids. And I know when the Mandalorian trailer came out, we did have that little bar scene of all the droids, and I was like, oh shit, we're getting battle droids in there. And seeing this episode, it was fun. It was a cool little mystery. I like kind of how it played out in this, and it was a little bit different than what I expected from Bryce Dallas Howard to direct. Because what I will say is, I think from an inexperienced director, this easily could have been one of the worst episodes of the season, and maybe you think it is one of the worst episodes of the season. I personally do not. I think it is one of the more lesser ones, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. What I liked about Dallas's direction in this is how she kept such a pacing to it that always made it interesting and exciting, and it kind of is like light Blade Runner in a sense. Like, I'm not saying it's Blade Runner, but it's very light Blade Runner in the way that it kind of develops its mystery and trying to point fingers at who's doing what and all sorts of things like that. You could think it's Jack Black's character. You gotta think it could be Christopher Lloyd's character. It could be maybe even Lizzo's, or maybe a character we have not met yet. And the way it kind of plays out, it ends up being Christopher Lloyd once they take down that droid and kind of follow through the steps of who is feeding these droids, these little droids, I guess, that are turning back on their evilness. And again, it ends up being Christopher Lloyd's character. Cool, I guess. Like, I didn't really care much for that. It was just like, this was another one of those, hey, it's a fun adventure. We got to do point A to point B to get to this thing. And you know what it actually really reminded me of? For fans of the Mass Effect series, it reminded me of when you were on the Citadel doing like random missions where you got to go talk to this person, you got to go take an elevator down, talk to this person, do this, maybe kill a couple people here and there, and then, oh, the first person we talked to, it was them the entire time. And then you end up getting them arrested and stuff like that. This very much felt like a Mass Effect mission, and it felt like something video game-ish in that style. I don't know, I kind of wanted a bit more, but I did love where it ended up going when they did actually meet up with Bo-Katan's Mandalorians, and how that kind of go back to that. She wants her fleet back. She challenges Wolves to, of course, a fight, and they fight, and she could have killed him, and she said there should be no more Mandalore bloodshed. And I love how he starts calling out Din and how she sticks up for him, seeing how much she has grown on that. And then Din does the same and saying, hey, like, you deserve this. This is you. You saved my life. This is yours. And whether it's bullshit or within the lore, I think it actually represents in the lore that it, of course, yes, Bo-Katan did slay the person who had captured him and almost killed him. So in actuality, that sword should be hers. And it was great to see her have the Darksaber again. I'm going to miss Din having it personally, but I think when it comes down to culture and everything of that nature, I do think that that saber deserves and belongs with Bo-Katan. I think Bo-Katan deserves to ride that mythosaur with that thing, holding it proud and high and cheering on the Mandalorians. And I think it's cool that Din is the Mandalorian that's kind of going that way and helping her unite everyone. Because in the past, I think it has been Bo-Katan's story to do just that. What is Din's story? I have zero idea. But I think that's going to be coming, and I think after this season, I think by the end, they're going to finally bring back Mandalorian, pretty much all the Mandalorians. I really hope the next 2 episodes, like, kick it into overgear, because so far, this is my least favorite season of The Mandalorian. I love the last shot. I love Din's speech. I love Bo speaking up for him. And the action was cool in here. It was great seeing battle droids. The cameos were fun, but in the end of the day, I wanted a bit more with the story actually progressing, and specifically with what they were trying to do. They didn't touch on any more of the Moff Gideon stuff, and overall, it was just a solid episode. And I think that's what I'm going at, is that the season is just solid. I'm having more issues with just like in general this season, and I wish the excitement was a little bit more there. I don't need cameos galore or anything. Just give me more meat to the story. But with that said, I'm just rambling at that point. I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much again for watching this. May the Force be with us all. And of course, remember that this is the way to hit that like and subscribe button for more fun content like this on a daily basis. I'll catch you guys later. Stay classy.